Coach's best friend.
Hello, Coach. It's Fletcher.
Fletcher, here's a virtual hug for you, okay?
Thank you. I don't know if you can see me. I'll hug you back.
Okay.
I don't know. Chris starts me off, and it's one of these things, like, out of respect for Chris last night, I didn't ask about Zion, and then I fumbled to ask you anything right away. I thought, well, let me ask him something other than Zion here. So I don't think last night, though, we heard your comments about Drew, though, and I apologize if you were asked, but if you would maybe reiterate just what he did and why he did it and how meaningful the contribution he's making is.
Well, I talked about it last night. I think, the thing that I love about Drew and Lauren and really the whole Holiday family is that they're so embedded in the community and they're so embedded in causes that I thought it was an unbelievable thing that they would do, to give his complete salary that he in a situation that's going to help so many people. It's going to help so many people, and I think that's what they're all about. If you know anything about Lauren Holiday, if you've been around her at all, you know how great a person she is, and everything that they've been through and all of this, and yet and still the one thing for them is that they want to make sure that everybody else have opportunities. And I thought it was a great gesture. I thought it was something that they talked about between themselves as a family, and they came up with this, and I think it's an amazing, amazing thing.
Christian Clark, you there? All right, we'll move to David Grubb.
Coach David Grubb from the Bird Rights. Now that you're having practice today without Zion, what are the adjustments that you start thinking about as you get towards that first scrimmage? Was it more of an adjustment offensively or defensively in replacing him today?
Well, guys, I think you got to understand one thing. We played 44 games without him. And so it wasn't so much an adjustment. We just went back to some of the things that we were doing, obviously, before he was able to play. But it's not that great of an adjustment from the standpoint of, the number of games that we played without him. Obviously, we'd like to have him here, and we hope that, he was here, but he's not. So we just practice and we make adjustments accordingly. But there's not any big adjustments we have to make from the standpoint of our guys have a general idea how to play without him. And, as I said yesterday, at one stretch we had a really good run. We won 12 out of 16 games that he wasn't playing in because he wasn't physically able to play in those games at that time. So we're just going to continue on. Like I said, the one thing that we have is that we have depth. I mean, obviously you would like to have him here, but we have depth, and we always talk about the next man stepping up. And this is going to be an opportunity for some guys to step up and play some minutes and do a good job for us.
Hey, Alvin, this is Rod Walker from Times-Picayune. I know this is sort of an odd question. It's probably going to take you back quite a ways, but does playing on the campus like this with all these guys just around together, does it take you back to your days coaching at Kansas at all? Does it have like a college feel to it? Or not really?
It's the biggest and best AAU tournament ever, okay? But it does. It's obviously it's a different feel. No one's ever done this in the NBA in the history of the league, so it's new to every single person here. But I will say this about the NBA: every day I'm here, you realize how much time and effort they put into making this thing work, and the facilities have been, really good. The basketball facilities has been phenomenal because we're mainly practicing and every day on NBA courts that were flown in. The food has been good, but just the effort to put this whole thing together, it had to take a lot of man hours, and I think it's run very smoothly up until this point. So, kudos to the NBA for being able to pull this off. And kudos to the players because I think they've tried to make the adjustments necessary to try to make this work. And it's been something that's been it's been different, from the standpoint of, like I said, no one's ever experienced it or tried to undertake this, but it's a really good thing. And, I think next week we start playing the scrimmage games, and the week after that we're going to start playing games, and I think the players will even be locked in that much more.
All right, thanks, Doug.
Doug Mouton at WWL TV in New Orleans. Would you say that the speed and the tempo at practice has picked up in the last couple of days?
Yeah, I think so. I think we played at great tempo. I would say that today we struggled a little bit, legs a little bit tired, even after having a day and a half off, almost 2 days off. But that usually happens when you're in an environment like this and going through those situations. So I think our guys are really trying, and we're trying to, like I said, ramp it up to get basketball legs under us. And we're going to be okay with that, Today really was the first day we had even a marginal practice. All the other practices have been really, really good and very focused and very physical. We'll get back tomorrow, and we practice in the afternoon, and I think I would prefer, the early afternoon practices than practices this late.
Hey, Coach, this is Christian Clark with NOLA.com. The early and middle part of the season, Brandon Ingram played a lot at power forward for you guys. If Zion is not able to go during these scrimmages, do you anticipate using Brandon at power forward quite a bit?
Well, I think, Christian, I think we'll use him there some. I don't know how much. We're going to experiment with some other situations because I think the physicality sometime of that position when you try to play him 35, 38 minutes is a little much. So, we're gonna look at some things obviously during these scrimmages as to how we can fill the void if Zion is not back and if he's not playing. But hopefully that won't be the case. But as I said, we'll use him there some, but we will also use some other guys at that position.